Little pile on that is, my daughter doesn't even ride the bus, I bring her back and
Yeah.
forth. But I get a little anxious because it's almost every week. There's a message sent out saying this bus is late, that's late, we had delays, and that's just from school
Yeah,
level.
right.
I can't imagine what's happening
Right,
in the rest of the
exactly.
district.
Yeah, and one of the other features to this program that we will be able to use that's not in place right now is that principals, teachers, anyone that we give access to, even my office, will be able to pull up on the computer where all of your buses are and actually see them. So if a parent calls in and says, my bus isn't here yet, they don't have to call transportation like they do now. They will be able to answer that question. We did create, as an in-between, a backdoor number for principals, which they've never had before, that allows them to call in and get an answer quicker than others. Yeah. Yes.
Do the buses have seat belts?
They do not. Well, some do, but no, for the most part, no.
Isn't that a safety concern?
It's not. It's all part of the state law that it's not, or even across the country, they are not required on school buses.
I think if you look into school bus safety, they've found that seatbelts are not effective, and the way the seats are made so high and so close to each other is safer for the kids if there was an accident than to be seatbelted in, because none of the kids wear the seatbelts anyway. So.
Regarding bus safety, are there plans to put cameras on the stop signs that the bus puts out? Because on numerous occasions, I've witnessed cars just passing by as that bus is letting kids off.
So
right
I
on my
will.
corner. And I asked my son, and he goes, "Oh, mommy, that happens every day."
Yeah. So I would talk to Ted Jankowski, who's our director of safety in the city. They attempted to do that. It was either my first or second year, so 4 or 5 years ago, and they found that they could not use that information if a police officer does not view it. It's like the red light cameras. If they don't view it themselves, you can't charge anyone with anything. So I don't know, I don't remember all of the details of it, but he may be a person that you may want to invite to your PFO meeting to kind of have some conversations about that. But they had gotten a grant that they would be able to put a camera on each of those arms, and it turns out that somehow you can't do anything about it because a officer, and I don't know exactly all of the details of it, has to actually observe the incident for someone to
So what would be the
charged
point?
with.
Because I've read in the news lately that other towns, cities.
You will have to check into that. I don't know enough. I'm just remembering from 4 or 5 years ago, so we would have to get more information for you. But I remember that was one of the reasons why they could not move forward with whatever grant they were trying to get. Yeah, I don't know enough about it, so Ted Jankowski would be the best person to talk to us about that, and he's our director of safety. Yes.
Is there a way to incorporate more exercise in the community?
Do you all do a lot of exercise around?
So, I mean, the children, they have gym, right? Twice in a 7-day period. They have recess every day. In terms of, I just have to say, yep, in the lower grades, in kindergarten and first grade, absolutely. Sometimes I see it in second grade. They do take what they call brain breaks, which is the go noodle, and the kids stand up and they dance. In music, there's sometimes some physical activity, but I have to say, and I'm not saying I don't support it because I really do. I am a big proponent that our school day needs to be longer. Every time we think of adding in these things that we know are beneficial to our children, we have to take that time away from an academic period, and so that's hard. That's hard, to plan.
Yeah, but I mean, like as a district wide, like not exactly as a school, at the school level, but like district wide, because it is my own experience that the more movement you have, the better you learn, because your brain is kind of
Right.
relaxed. When you're like concentrated on learning, you kind of get to a point where you don't get it.
So So the movement does happen though, it's not physical exercise, but much of the children's day is stations or what we call centers. So kids may sit and are engaged in some explicit teaching for 15 to 20 minutes, and then they are grouped and move about in that next 45 minutes, every 15 minutes to different stations to do work that happens during reading, word work, and math. So there is a lot of movement. You know, I think we've done a good job as a school trying to promote, you know, our family fun run. We have field days, you know, some of those activities. And really, you know, we have the kids fan come in that talks about nutrition. So trying to support the idea of good exercise, good nutrition. But that's kind of how we support it, is just the movement in the day. Yeah.
I know 2 people had their hands up. I really have to be at another event. If I weren't going to another building and taking away their time, I would stay. Is it like a really quick? Is it really quick?
It's about homework, like, is there some discussion about district or Board of Ed wide, at least at the elementary level, having some kind of standards with homework? Because right now it seems like it's teacher determined and
It
based
is.
on research.
Yeah, exactly.
over
Yeah.
is repeatedly saying that it's not effective, and yet the kids are coming home with
I
homework.
know.
And
No,
it just depends on the
As
teacher.
a professor at Sacred Heart, I have many opinions about homework, and what the research says is not effective. It is
Yeah.
not. It has little to no impact on a student's
Or at
educational
least
success.
it can be
So,
voluntary.
yeah,
because
so-
it's like, I want to tell them.
I
to
think
do
that
it,
that's a good
but they're not.
conversation to
Yes.
have at the building level, so that
Yes.
you're able to have that. I always find, and I know people say, oh, I want it to be mandated by the district, what we do, but really the success of things are when people buy into it, and you get buy-in when a school community comes together and buys in on things, and then we, you know, maybe share with one another the good things that are going on. So that's what I encourage you to
Yeah.
do with your principal.
And I would love to have, you know, at one of our meetings, a conversation about homework, because, you know, you don't want to be in a situation where you're assigning homework to please people, right? Where we have many parents who are like, I want more and more and more, and feel it's our responsibility as the educators to provide that. You know, where there are some families who feel, you know, if I'm going to enrich my child or
I'm gonna
intervene,
go for a walk
right?
around the neighborhood instead of homework.
Yes.
I think that's important.
But I do have many parents who have said, you know, I don't prefer for my child to do homework. That's our family time. And so we have had some conversations with individual families. I think it is important to read to your child every single day and help your child build a love for learning. That doesn't mean that they need to be tortured reading 20 minutes. I think they read when they are excited about reading, and you can read to them. But it is, we have varying